People threw rocks at trembling stray dog outside bakery. They called him dangerous, rabid, worthless. But one passerby pressed record instead of joining in, and the footage he captured flipped the story on its head. The camera caught what no one else saw, and when the truth came out, the dog everyone hated became the hero no one could forget. The morning rush outside Miller's bakery was like any other. Small crowd gathered near the door, sipping coffee and chatting, but their conversation turned sour the moment a scruffy German shepherd limped into view. His fur was matted, legs caked with dried blood and mud. He looked worn, weak, but not aggressive. "Phil," someone shouted, "get out of here," and hurled a rock. It hit the dog's side. With a sickening thud, the shepherd let out a yelp, stumbled, but didn't retaliate. More voices joined in. "He's dangerous. Probably has rabies." Another rock flew, then another. The dog crouched low, tail between his legs, ears pinned back, not attacking, just enduring. No one stopped it. They just watched, laughed, threw more. No one questioned why the dog had come. They only wanted him gone. Ethan had just stepped off the 9:15 bus from 2 towns over. His backpack slung across one shoulder and camera bag at his side. He was passing through. No plans, just a quiet traveler looking for coffee and maybe a fresh loaf. But the shouting drew him in before the scent did. He stopped in front of the bakery and froze. A group of people, young, old, even a couple teens, were hurling rocks at a wounded German shepherd. The dog didn't fight back. He only whimpered and tried to retreat, blood smearing the sidewalk behind him. Ethan's hand instinctively reached for his phone. He didn't know why, but something about the dog's eyes, wide, golden, terrified, yet still focused, stopped him cold. Wasn't rage in those eyes. It was resolve. Instead of yelling, Ethan pressed record. He didn't know what story was unfolding, but he could feel it was one no one else wanted to see. Ethan zoomed in with his phone, capturing every brutal detail. The dog's flanks riddled with gashes, fur torn in places, revealing raw, bruised flesh. His right hind paw barely touched the ground, trailing blood with every trembling step. Yet still, the shepherd didn't growl or snap. He didn't even bark. "He bit a customer last week," someone muttered near Ethan. It was the bakery owner, arms crossed, watching, like a judge at a trial. Probably Raid. Should have been put down already. Ethan turned toward him. "You have proof of that?" The man shrugged. "Don't need it. Everyone knows that dog's trouble." But Ethan wasn't so sure. He rewound his footage, pausing on a frame that showed the shepherd standing near a toddler. Earlier, just before the crowd turned, the kid had dropped a pastry, and the dog had nudged it back toward her with his nose. Ethan's jaw tightened. Something here didn't add up. Ethan's heart pounded as he replayed the video, frame by frame. There it was, clear as daylight. The toddler had tripped her, pastry slipping from her hand and rolling near the stray. The German shepherd didn't lunge. He didn't bark. He gently nosed the food back toward her, tail wagging softly. Then came the scream. A mother, misinterpreting the moment, had pulled her child back in panic. And just like that, the narrative shifted. He tried to bite her. Someone shouted. The first rock flew. Ethan stood on the curb and raised his voice. Stop. I have it on video. Hurting him for no reason. No one listened. Another rock struck the dog's shoulder. He collapsed, panting, shaking, but still didn't run. Ethan had seen enough. He dialed animal control, then posted the video online with one sentence. Watch before you judge. By nightfall, the internet would watch and the world would judge them instead. By midnight, Ethan's video had crossed 200,000 views. By dawn, it had reached over 1 million. Comments poured in. Anger, heartbreak, disbelief. How could they do that to him? That dog was protecting the child. Shame on those people. The bakery's Yelp page was flooded with 1-star reviews. Local news stations picked up the footage. The once beloved shop became a symbol of cruelty. Ethan sat in his motel room, watching it unfold on his cracked screen. But despite the noise, one question haunted him. Where was the dog now? Animal control had arrived late. Too late. The shepherd had vanished. Determined, Ethan posted a follow-up video. He's still out there alone and hurt. If anyone sees him, message me. I'll find him. That's when Maya, a young vet from a nearby clinic, reached out. I saw blood near the alley behind my apartment. I think he's close. Want to help me look? Ethan didn't hesitate. Let's go. Ethan and Maya moved through the early morning haze. Flashlight beams slicing through narrow alleys behind the bakery district. The town was quieter. Now, ashamed perhaps, but Ethan didn't care about redemption. He just wanted to find him. Near a row of dumpsters, Mia crouched down. Look. Dried blood smeared across the concrete. Nearby, a crumpled paper bag with the bakery's logo lay, torn open. Half a loaf of bread still inside. He never left, Ethan murmured. He just hid. They followed the trail, past discarded crates and broken pallets, until Maya gasped. Behind a rusted trash bin, curled into himself like a shadow, was the German shepherd. His eyes flicked open, recognizing Ethan. He didn't growl. He didn't run. He tried to stand but collapsed again, guarding the bread like it was treasure. Ethan slowly knelt, voice low. We're not here to hurt you, boy. We saw the truth. We're here to help. Back at Mia's clinic, the dog lay sedated on a steel table. His breathing was shallow but stable. Mia worked carefully, cleaning wounds and stitching torn skin. Ethan sat nearby, holding the dog's paw, quietly, whispering, "Hang in there, guardian." It was the name he'd started calling him, because that's what he was. X-ray revealed something no one expected. A small metal fragment lodged near his rib. A bullet. Old, partially healed. This dog's been shot before, Maya said, softly, and survived. Later that day, Ethan obtained extended footage from a bakery security camera. His jaw clenched as he watched. 3 days earlier, Guardian had charged at a masked man threatening a woman behind the store. He'd saved her, and no one even noticed. All along, he'd been watching the bakery, not to steal, but to protect. The town had tried to drive away its guardian, and it had nearly cost them everything. Word spread quickly. The new footage hit local news by evening, and by the next morning, the town held a community meeting at City Hall. The atmosphere was tense, uncomfortable, like staring into a mirror after a shameful act. Ethan stood at the front, Guardian's video playing on a screen behind him. Gasps filled the room as the clip showed the dog lunging at the armed mugger days before the attack. The silence afterward was crushing. The bakery owner, red-faced and shaken, tried to speak but broke down instead. "I thought he was a threat," he muttered. "We all did." Teacher who had thrown a stone stepped forward. "We didn't ask questions. We just followed." Apologies were issued. Donations poured in for Guardian surgery. A local sculptor offered to make a tribute, and Ethan standing beside. Maya looked down at his phone. The world had turned its back on him once, but now they were finally seeing. Children placed flowers around his paws. One little girl hugged him gently and whispered, "I'm sorry." The crowd fell silent as the bakery owner stepped out and knelt. With shaking hands, he extended a biscuit toward Guardian. The dog sniffed it and accepted. The town had failed him once, but today they honored him. The bakery announced daily food donations to the shelter, and on the front window hung a new sign. "We see you now, Guardian. Thank you."